Hi Engineering Janta, I am Vaibhav Shukla and today we are going to discuss about Tech Mahindra's off-campus hiring. In short, it's a great chance to get yourself placed via off-campus hiring, so do not miss out on this hiring, okay? And for you people, I have some bonus content in this particular video, and that bonus content is basically the syllabus and the test pattern as well, and I'll explain you how to prepare for that, what exactly to study, what to leave, everything would be covered. Fine. So before I dive in deep, go ahead, follow us on these social media handles so that you get Tech Mahindra updates regularly, and top 3 comments get Prep Insta Prime subscription for free. So go ahead, comment below this video so that you stand a chance in winning this free subscription. Fine. Now, coming to the hiring process, let's understand how Tech Mahindra hires, and then we'll talk about what to study, how the test pattern is, everything in detail. Fine. So, usually resume screening is optional here. People who have given this before, they know that resume screening sometimes happens, sometimes it doesn't in Tech Mahindra. But consider that it is happening so that you have your resume well made, and ATS friendly resume is something that you have to make. Okay, I have guided enough times that how to make an ATS friendly resume. I have given a separate detailed video in a YouTube live. You can go ahead, watch that in the live section, how to make an ultimate resume, in which you will realize how to make an ATS friendly resume. Fine. 60% people, if this happens, 60% people generally get shortlisted. Then they give online assessment, which is basically aptitude based. Fine. So when you give this, if you perform poorly, then you get rejected. What does this poorly mean? The primary point is this is an elimination test. Fine. So 70% of people get eliminated here only. That is why I always say stay focused on aptitude since day one. Okay. Post that, you give a technical and psychometric test. What happens here is the top performers go to the super coder round. Now, what is super coder round? For this, just realize that they are hiring for 2 profiles, ASC and super coder. ASC is generally 3.5 LPA and this is generally 5.5 LPA. Super coder. So ASC is associate software engineer, whereas super coder is a advanced profile which has 5.5 LPA package. So if you're somebody who is among the top performers of technical and psychometric testing, which is generally the round 2, what you have is you can give this round, super coder round, you might be shortlisted, and how you will be shortlisted based on your code qualities, the way you've written. On that basis, you're shortlisted here, and then basic DSA and problem solving is checked. Various CS fundamentals are checked in this round. If you clear this round, your package is boosted to 5.5 LPA. Basically, you lie in that band of candidates to be hired, but you still have to give the conversational round. If you don't make in this round, basically you will be provided to the band of 3.25 LPA students, and then again you are into the conversational round. So this you have to give inevitably, be it for the super coder, be it for the ASC role, you have to give this conversational round. If you clear this conversational round, you get to the technical interview. If you're not performing well in this technical interview, you'll be rejected. If you perform well, you'll go to HR interview, and still, if you don't perform well in HR interview, you'll get rejected. If you perform well, you have the offer in your hand, subject to the background verification and if any malpractice hasn't been done. Fine. Now, in all of this case, let me tell you, every step is essential. You need to prepare very thoroughly, even for the HR interviews. So I'll tell you how to do that. See, generally, we'll understand the test pattern so that you know how to strategize your whole journey for this exam. Fine. So the round 1 is generally the online aptitude test. You have 4 sections: quantitative ability, logical ability, English and essay writing. 12 questions in quants, 15 minutes of time is allotted for solving that. Then for logical ability, you again have 12 questions, and in these 12 questions you have 15 minutes again. For English, you have 12 questions, again 15 minutes, and then you have essay writing. Now, essay writing is something on any current affair topic, on any topic, might be a socio-economic topic. It can be any topic. It might be related to tech as well. So in this particular section, you have one question and you have to write an essay in 25 minutes. So basically it is 37 questions here, 70 minutes of total time, and you have to solve this particular round. If you perform very well, as I told you, you will go to the next round, which is the technical test. What happens here? Generally, you have computer programming questions, 12 questions, 15 minutes of time. Then computer science, which is nothing but CS fundamentals, 12 questions, again 15 minutes. Then you have automata fix. Now, this is a very tricky portion of the test, and this basically helps you clear the round in such a manner that you land up in the super coder interview. Fine. So here, if you're doing good, and here if you're doing good, basically in these two primarily, if you target the score well, then you might land up in a super coder interview. So automata fix is a very tricky portion where a bit of code would be given, a bit needs to be fixed, and you need to produce certain outputs and then pass the test cases. So for that, you'll have 2 questions, 45 minutes of time. And for personality test, this is basically psychometric testing, and in this 72 questions, 15 minutes. So basically total time of this round is 90 minutes, 88 questions is what you get. Fine. Now in this, for automata fix, what you can do is, you go and hop on to Prime, okay. You hop on to Prime, and here you have this particular Tech Mahindra online course. You can go in this. From aptitude to logical reasoning to verbal to automata fix, there is a separate section of automata fix. And let me tell you, if you enroll into this course, you get an access throughout the platform. You can watch any course on the platform, and all the 200 plus courses would be accessible to you if you enroll into this. Fine. So now if I go ahead and you see languages, DSA, coding, everything is thoroughly covered here. So you have a structured approach without wasting any of your time. You can simply dive in here, and once you clear these portions for interview as well, you have the proper course for Tech Mahindra. You buy any one of them, you get access to all of the courses. Basically, if you buy this, you get access to this as well. If you subscribe to this, you get access to this as well. As simple as that. Okay. So now I'll proceed further, and we'll see what happens once we pass this test. So once you pass this test, then comes the conversational test. We'll come to it in detail, where you have reading, repeating sentences, questions and answers, story retelling, speaking, and approximately there is a common divide and share in all of these sections, and 4 questions from each of these. Reading, 4 questions from reading, 4 questions from repeating. This is an approximate figure that I'm giving you from the past experience and the basic idea that I have and that I have shared with my team, and my team has given me the data. So given on that, 4 questions each generally are divided in these sections. That number may vary. It can happen that from reading there are 3 questions and from repeating sentences there are 5. Fine. So do not worry on that, but this is a general conversational test in which you have grammatical question answers, you have story retelling, speaking, repeating sentences, and after you give this, you have 20 minutes of shared time. Generally, there are 21 questions in this, and you have 20 minutes of shared time. Throughout for the test, you have just 20 minutes. Fine. Post this, let's discuss in detail the online aptitude test, because after this round, after the conversational round, you basically have interviews. Fine. So I'll go ahead and I'll discuss about online aptitude test. As I told you, quantitative ability is generally 15 minutes. Fine, in the online aptitude tests, and you have 12 questions. Now there are 9 questions at least that you should tick correctly for the cutoff in this section. Fine. When you come to the logical ability, you have similar fashion, 15 minutes, 12 questions, 9 questions cutoff again. Same works for English, 15 minutes, 12 questions, 9 questions as cutoff. So basically, if I say you have 75% as your cutoff for these particular 3 sections. Then in essay writing, there is just 1 question, okay, and you have this question to solve. So in essay writing, this is not 12 questions, but this is just one single question that you have, and you have to write one essay. There's no cutoff for essay, but for essay, you must produce very good amount of words. You should be in word limit, first of all, that is given in the section. Also, you should be very crisp about the points that you include. Fine, you need to be updated with the social trends, with the economic trends, with the relevant tech news that is going on around you. Fine. So this is something you have to work upon. Now, you come to Tech Mahindra test pattern. If you see in this, I'll go in detail for the quantitative ability. Fine. For this, I'll go in detail. Look, if in quantitative ability I tell you that 75% is the cutoff, you cannot miss any topics generally. Why am I saying so? I have repeated this earlier as well. Why am I saying so? Look, there are topics like profit and loss, SI and CI, time, speed and distance, inverse, geometry, coordinate geometry, PNC, permutations, combinations, probability, ratio and proportion. These are very important topics. We all know it. But if you miss a topics like logarithms, fine, or clocks and calendars, where 1 or 2 questions are expected, say that out of 12 questions, you had to get 9 right. Okay. Now here you left one question. You didn't prepare this topic, clocks and calendars, and one question came from here. Then what would happen is that out of these 9, you still have this number as 9, but out of these 12, the number would reduce to 11. You get it? This would become your problem. Why am I saying so? The reason is now it somewhere rises around 80%. Okay, somewhere in this range. Now this somewhere when increases the cutoff, say you had 2 questions, say you left clocks and calendars and logarithms, and you don't have 2 questions now which you can attempt. So basically you still have 9 that you need to mark correctly, and 10 questions you need to figure out totally. Why am I saying so? Because 2 questions are coming from these 2 topics and you haven't studied them. So you have 10 questions of sample space. Now this means 90% is the cutoff for you. For others, it is still 75%. You get it? So do not miss out on any topic. How do you get these topics? You get them structured in the prime syllabus. And that is why I was saying that you can easily buy that Tech Mahindra course. For that, I have a special discount for you people if you want. Basically, always there's a concern with students that how should we go ahead and buy if we are not having enough money. So you will get some additional discount with this coupon. Go ahead, apply that. अगर नहीं खरीद सकते हो, still धूमधाम से preparation हो सकती है. Time ज़्यादा लगेगा, effort ज़्यादा लगेगा. As clear as that. Okay. So if you are ready to put in effort for say 9 hours or 10 hours extra on a daily basis, fine. On daily basis, I'm saying this. Say that somebody is studying for 6 hours, so you will have to study for 9 hours if you're not buying any structured course or you're not enrolling into any structured course, because you'll have to collate resources. Fine. So that is one thing. So this is a coupon code Shukla10. You can use this, and with this you will have some additional discount on Prime. Fine. Now coming to logical ability, coding, deductive logic, blood relations, directional sense, analogy, classification, odd man out, syllogism, inferred meanings, logical word sequences, everything here. Fine. Everything that is written here. If you want, stop and take a screenshot of this, or if you want to note down in your register or anything you want, go ahead, note down these topics, because this is the basic arrangement of topics that is generally asked in the logical ability section. Also here 12 questions would come in totality, 15 minutes. So time is also very less. You need to practice a lot. How do you do that? Either you use the quizzes that are available on prepinsta.com in the Tech Mahindra page, or you can access the premium quizzes, because you will have just 1 or 2 free quizzes there. So you can access the premium quizzes after buying the Prime subscription. That is one thing you can do, but you can manage it by practicing. Fine. Time is always managed by practicing. Jitna practice karoge, utna better speed aa jayegi. Fine. Here also generally 9 questions are the cutoff. Now if I move forward, for English, synonyms and antonyms, contextual vocabulary, error identification. This is a place of confusion. A lot of people get confused here. So you do not miss out on error identification practice because it is generally very, very confusing. Sentence improvement and construction, tenses and articles, preposition and conjunctions, reading comprehensions. Fine. All of this you have to study very, very hard, specifically reading comprehension and error correction. Okay, errors. These two you have to practice a lot. Why? In errors, there are very, very confusing sentences at times. And in reading comprehension, it is the speed that kills you. Fine. So you need to be very, very speedy, very, very efficient while reading the comprehension in such a manner that you do not miss out important details. Fine. So you need efficient practice, structured practice for this. You need to be thorough with them. Fine. Now, coming to the technical test, computer programming. Here you generally have 12 questions, 15 minutes, same 9 questions are generally the cutoff. For computer science, 15 minutes, 12 questions, 9 questions is the cutoff. For automatafix, here you get more time, 45 minutes. So 2 questions is generally given and you need to pass all the test cases. Out of 15 minutes given for the 72 questions, you have to correctly mark 60 questions. Fine. So in these 60 questions, if you perform well, your personality is judged. You're judged how you are as a human being. Fine. I'll go ahead and we'll discuss computer programming. Fine. Now for computer programming, first of all, master a language, any language of your choice, either C or C++. Generally C++ is recommended for the people who are absolute newbies. If you're somebody who's comfortable with Java, go ahead with Java. If you're somebody who's comfortable with Python due to data science AI projects, then you go for Python. But generally I suggest that you go ahead and start with C++ if you are an absolute newbie and trying to prepare right now, because you have less time. So you focus on those things which are easily doable. Fine. And for that, what you can do is again hop on to the Prime. Fine. And if you see, if I click here and if you see, you have specific language courses as well. See, C language, C++, Java, Python, you have all the languages. Whichever language you like, go ahead, pick it up, immediately start learning. Okay, start fastly, learn rapidly as soon as possible. Fine. Once you do that, then what you can do is you can go ahead and open Prep Insta Top 100 Codes. Now what is this? This is an efficient free resource. This is absolutely free of cost. Fine. So this is free. You can go and check these out. If the top 100 codes are on the edges of your nails, you will be performing superb in this computer programming round because you will be knowing how to code. Fine. I'll show you this top 100 codes page as well. Wait. I'll open it up for you people. Let's see it in a new tab. Even if you search it like this, top 100 codes. So I'll just search top 100 codes and you see the Prep Insta page comes on the top. So you go ahead and start studying in your favorite language. You can solve these problems. Fine. So that is the advantage, and you have many methods here for one single problem, say program to check whether any year is a leap year or not. You will have 4 methods shown here. Fine. So all these 4 methods are given here. You can go and study that, and this is free of cost for you people. So post that, you can go ahead and prepare DSA, and DSA for service based companies are available on Prime as well as a separate track. So you can go and check that out. Once you go ahead with this in computer science, now understand, Tech Mahindra is very focused on CS fundamentals in the computer science section. So you need to be thorough with SQL, DBMS, OS, and this portion is generally very dicey. A lot of times few things are asked from here and few things are omitted. Sometimes cloud computing comes more and testing is virtually non-present. Sometimes testing is asked more and cloud computing is not present. Same goes for other two, computer networks and cybersecurity. But these two will always be there. Fine. Also one thing, object-oriented programming. Fine. Oops. You have studied it in your college. Object-oriented programming is also there. So you need to be very, very thorough with these. This is basically the network security bundle. Okay. So this network security bundle is also very important. You need to be very, very thorough with these topics. Once you're through this, then comes the conversational test. Basically what happens is you get a link that is generally AI driven, or sometimes it is pre-programmed, it is based on natural language processing assistance. What happens is you're given some sentences to read, you go ahead, you see that and read that comprehension. The comprehension is given to you. It is told that you go ahead and record the response by reading that. Then repeating sentences happens. A few sentences will come and you'll be asked to repeat them, and that will be recorded. Fine. Then few questions and answers are asked from grammatical angle. A few things from English grammar are asked to you. And all of this, every single section or every single question that you are attempting, keep in mind that for whole test you have 20 minutes. You have just 20 minutes which are shared among all questions. So you have to attempt them accordingly. Then there would be a story that you have to retell, or you might be asked to simply tell a new story from your end. And then comes speaking, where your speaking skills are checked. These all four, 1, 2, 4 and 5, all four of them are generally of similar nature. Only this portion is quite different, which requires expertise in English grammar. Fine. And 4 questions approximately from each section come, as I told you earlier. So you can expect 20 to 22 questions in this section. Fine. Now, if you go ahead, post clearing this round, you go to the tech interviews. But as I told you, if you are somebody who has performed, again I'll show you this particular portion where we were talking about hiring process. If you're somebody who has performed well in technical and psychometric testing in basically round 2, if you've performed very well, then you might have a call from supercoder round. If you're somebody who is not performing very well in supercoder round, then you will directly land up in conversational round. If you clear this round, you're basically boosted to 5.5 LPA and then you give conversational round. If you do not clear it, still you are redirected to the conversational round only. Fine. So if I come back to that portion again, I'll come back to this portion again. So if I come to the interview preparation, what you have to do is basically, as I told you, first master a language and then top 100 codes. This is of prime importance. Once you have done this, once you have done these questions on Prep Insta top 100 codes and you have mastered a language, once you have done this, then what you can do is you can practice various DSA problems for service-based companies. Also, basic and intermediate coding is needed for the interview rounds. Why am I saying so? This is also needed for the tech rounds, but still with top 100 codes, you will get enough coding practice. But this basic and intermediate coding, this section and DSA for service-based companies will basically prove your mettle in the technical interview round, which would be happening with a one-to-one interviewer. Fine. So once you've done this, an interview is always interested in knowing your projects in your certifications. And for this, I have specifically made a video of top 5 projects with the resume description. It is free of cost on YouTube. You can go ahead and watch it. Once you watch that, you will realize which skills are trending, which projects can I build. And if you're still somebody who needs handheld guidance, then you can go to Prep Insta Prime. You go ahead, watch a few courses there. You will find top projects. Pick one, prepare one, add it to your resume. As simple as that. Okay. DBMS, SQL, OSC and SDLC, everything is covered in the Tech Mahindra course, as I told you, these CS fundamentals, fine. For the interview preparation, you have all of this. We have interview preparation course as well. I'll show you. So here you have interview preparation course as well for the Tech Mahindra. And for this course, if you go down and see the syllabus, you will have all the soft skills preparation where resume will be prepared, type of interviews, interview experiences, everything is included, and the technical portion as well where you get everything. See, DBMS, software engineering methodologies, projects, certifications, everything is solved at one place for you, fine. So once you do this, then you can go ahead and practice guesstimates, puzzles, which are essential for HR round, because if you're somebody who's clearing technical round with flying colors and he is good at this, then if you're somebody who's targeting super coder, you can practice DSA advanced, a few advanced projects, a tinge of competitive coding, and you'll have access to more difficult questions if you're basically enrolling into prime. So you'll realize the importance of this once you enter the super coder round. So if you're somebody who's targeting for super coder, this is of help to you people, and this portion is essential for HR interview. Basically, you'll get access to the HR round questions, you'll get access to puzzles, guesstimates, and it might happen that an HR might put you in a round where you're in a virtual room and discussing things in a group. This is rarely possible, but this can happen on the HR's end if there are large chunk of students to filter them out. So you get this practice as well in the course that we have curated for this. That is something that we have burnt our midnight lamps for that. But apart from that, if you're somebody who cannot go ahead and buy that course, if you're somebody who's suffering for the basic needs, let me tell you, free में भी अच्छे से तैयारी होती है, बस time ज़्यादा लगता है. You'll need a lot of time to prepare. Okay, so just be focused on that. Also, in the comments, you tell me what blockers, what problems exactly you are facing in this particular test or in any of your placement journey, and I'll try and address them as soon as possible. I'll try and build some videos, a few solutions possible for you so that you people are way ahead in your journey. As simple as that. Now, whatever information you got in this video, go ahead, spread it as much as you can. मत बताओ चाहे मेरा नाम, but go ahead, spread it. Keep doing good for people. Okay, good will come back to you. And for those who are trying to buy Prime and they're facing some financial blocker or something like that, for them, what you can do is, you can use this coupon code Shukla10. This will help you out with some discount and you can go ahead straight away, buy it. Don't waste time in scrolling what else is there, what else is not. Everything is well curated in that course. If you're somebody who has paucity of time and wants the preparation to be expedited, to be sped up very fast, you can go there and simply try learning from that course. Okay, as simple as that. On Prep Insta Prime, go ahead, dive into the Tech Mahindra course where you'll have access to the premium quizzes, you'll have access to full length mocks, everything is sorted out for you. But whatever good you find in this video, go ahead, spread to everybody you feel that are in need of this information. Okay, that's all for today, and I hope you guys will definitely crack this particular hiring and ensure that you reach the place that you desire for yourself, where you want to reach yourself. Okay, so that's for today. Thank you.